Hello, everybody. I am getting ready to bake, and I just figured I would come on and talk with you guys, whoever wants to um, come into the chat. Let's see. I think I have to turn it. Turn it. Okay. Now I should be able to see the comments once somebody comes in. Um, it's kind of iffy for me to be able to close the window I have open with StreamYard. Hey, welcome. To share it out. So whoever is coming in, if you guys can share this out, I appreciate it. Well, like I said, I'm just getting ready to start baking. And criminy, I think I left my gloves in the other room. So how's everybody doing this evening? This fine Sunday evening. Maybe I got a pair of gloves over here. Yes. I have to actually like handle the dough, so I always wear gloves when I'm preparing the cookie dough to go into the oven. It appears that whoever was here with me left. So I arranged to do a private tour on Tuesday at the mill so that I can get a little bit of the history and the lay of the land, basically, before we actually go in for the investigation, because so part of the reason why they're actually starting to now let people come in and investigate is because they need money to be able to use to restore the property. As it is right now, it's kind of sketchy. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that at all whatsoever, because pretty much everywhere that I go into and that I take people into is dangerous to go into to investigate. But we are there with the owner of the property's permission, number one. We also have somebody on hand on site at the location who will be giving the tour, and basically then we'll go out to her vehicle and wait while we investigate. Now, the spirits, because she has done a lot of investigating there with herself and her spouse, she's had a lot of firsthand experiences there. We have pretty much, and it's funny because we had discussed this, her and I, last night. But the funny thing about that is that I actually already knew that there is a mine shaft right behind the mill, and a lot of people died in a fire. Everybody always talks about the Yellow Jacket mine fire that killed, I want to say it was like, and that one was like 30 something. I don't know. I'll have to relook it up. About the actual numbers of how many actually were deceased. But that fire reached other mine shafts. And one of the mine shafts that it actually got to was the one that's right behind the building that we're going to be investigating on Halloween evening. So we're pretty sure that that's the reason why that property is haunted, because most likely back in the day when there were men going in and out of the shaft, they were going the path that would be directly through that building. So it would make sense why, um, and it's day and night. It doesn't matter if it's day or night. There's something going on. Um, excuse me. I'm like having some serious allergy issues. um, and you know, it never helps when we keep having like 3 days where there's no smoke, and then it'll be like kind of hazy and smoky for a few days again. So I'm not 100% sure if the all the fires are out in California. So I know that there was a new one kind of recently in Napa. So every time basically the wind shifts and changes directions, it will blow it in and then it blows back out. But yeah, it's been in for a couple days now, I'd say. It's been pretty smoky out. And I don't like when it's this time of year, I try my best not to run the AC and just try to have the balcony door open and the fans and the ceiling fans on so that we're getting a little bit of a breeze in at least part of the house. And so I'm kind of actually a little bit refusing to close the door, and that's part of you know what's triggering my allergies is the crap that's in the air. So, pardon me. Excuse me. Man, I think I left it in there a little bit too long. So I noticed that when I make my peanut butter cookies, that if I don't refrigerate it for an hour, it's like the cookies don't flatten out like they're supposed to, and they say like these little chunky globs. So I have to do things way ahead of time so that I have enough, um, time allotted for me to account for needing to refrigerate it. I was kind of trying to wait until it got a little bit later here, so it was dark out and the temperature would have started dropping. But I could already feel that the temperature had started dropping, so I was like, well, all right. I know it feels like it's 90 in here, but it's really like 80 something. But then I turn, a 350-degree oven on, and all of a sudden it's not very comfortable. So I like to make sure I take lots of time when I'm baking and making things for others. I really actually enjoy it. The holidays, like I bake for people in town, um, my neighbors. I make like little special baskets for my neighbors in my building, just so that I do something that's Christmassy, because I don't really um, like to celebrate Christmas or any Christian holidays. Really, they're not my on the top of my list for things to concern myself with. I grew up in a very Christian household. They're very strict Christians, and God bless them. I know they mean well, and I know that people just want the best for themselves and their families, and if that means that they have to, do what you do when you're a Christian, I think the term is kind of thrown around a little loosely. I think a lot of people consider themselves to be Christians, but in reality, they're very far from it. To be a Christian means to be Christ-like, and most people I know are not very Christ-like. So no one's saying we have to be perfect, but at least fucking try. Sorry. So I have lots of opinions about those sort of things, and I really try not to even bring these topics up or even talk about it most of the time. Oh, my oven's ready. Mostly because I know I have friends of all different um, religious upbringings and backgrounds and beliefs, and I respect everybody's belief as long as they aren't trying to shove it down my throat. So, that being said, um, you know, I don't actually discriminate against anybody at all. I'm a very open-minded person. But like I said, I was raised that way, so not to be open-minded, but to do what you're told and don't think for yourself. And if that were the case, I would never be doing what I'm doing now. If I was not allowed to think for myself and outside of what their beliefs were, I would not be a paranormal investigator. I'd probably be dead or in an insane asylum because I wouldn't have understood what I was experiencing my entire life. And because I do understand that there is something after this body dies, that our energy just doesn't dissipate and die. So, and I've been haunted my entire life. So, it's kind of like I I have a hard I have a really hard time with it, to be honest, because um I was never allowed to talk about it. It's still something my family doesn't want to hear about, but when they ask me what I'm doing, what am I supposed to say? Lie? I'm not gonna lie. It is what it is. They either have to accept me for me or they can't be in my life. So, I still speak with my sisters and my father, and not my brothers though. But that's more of a homophobe thing than you know them even being able to comprehend what my life is like. So, you know, okay, this is really strange because it sounds like there's somebody like on the street singing. I think somebody just has their like speakers out on C Street turned up really freaking loud, dude. I'm almost positive you guys should be able to hear. Oh, is this thing even? Yeah. Okay, it's picking up my voice, but it's not picking up that voice. That's okay. And I did find out I might actually be able to go live from inside the mill, but if I do, probably be for a very short period of time. That I would, because again, other things taking focus away from what I'm actually supposed to be doing is it's taxing for me, and this location is extremely dangerous. So I'm not trying to die. I'm not trying to get pushed. I'm not trying to have anything bad happen when I'm there. And I will be wearing my blessed rosary because, uh, well, he blessed it to try to help protect me. So I feel as if, because I have been in there before, and I know that there's something very dark, malevolent entity there, and I want to be prepared, and I wanted to make sure that me wearing that onto the property was not going to be considered provocation. So I had to clarify that with the lady that runs it. And, you know, it is, I am 100% going to be wearing it. I do have a sigil and a rune tattooed on me that are both for my protection as well. Since I've gotten them both, I have actually not experienced anything touching me at all whatsoever. And that might actually be because normally, like at the Washoe Club, they're respectful enough not to usually touch me unless I give them permission. So that could be why, is just because I don't generally give that permission very often. However, the last few times I've been there and I've investigated, we've had some really bizarre and interesting experiences between myself and those who I took in to investigate. So I'm really looking forward to the mill, and I'm really super looking forward to the prison too. Like, oh, I don't think these ladies understand that I've been trying very hard and very diligently to get into certain locations in the area because I feel like I'm being called to them. So it's just kind of serendipitous that it like all came together when it did, and you know that we're going to be able to investigate both locations, and in 2020, which quite frankly I had almost given up on getting to get into anywhere new this year because everything has been so incredibly, it's like ramming my head against a brick wall because a lot of people are afraid because of COVID, which I don't blame them. I am also in the group of I have to be careful so that I don't get it. Because if I get it, I'm probably not going to come back from that. So for me, it's for my protection that I've kind of distanced myself a little bit from, basically the world because I haven't really been going anywhere and doing anything. It's been very few and far between. But I will be able to film when I do the tour on Tuesday. And so I will upload that footage, and that'll give everybody kind of an idea of this place. And it's very active. It doesn't matter if it's in the day or the night. They're there and they're friendly, and they, for the most part, the human spirits want to, communicate, and it's fine. But there is something there that doesn't really want us there, like at all. And it may have something to do with the fact that the mine shaft is so incredibly close to that building that they could be just more or less be trying to protect the gold, so to speak. Okay, first doesn't in. Timer. Okay. And I live like at a really super high elevation, so baking has been quite a challenge for me to adjust to. I come from Las Vegas, which is like below sea level, and now I live over 6,000 feet. So it can be a little bit much at times, like with the food stuff, trying to figure all that out. So I have certain things that I make regularly. And it was that time that I had to, get these done. So I just figured, why the heck not? I guess maybe if I was used to like talking out loud to myself more, seeing that nobody's coming in. Um, I guess once I become more comfortable with it, I can just, you know, stay live like this for longer periods of time. But I feel like I'm super allergy ridden right now, and I probably sound like crap. Um, Dude, that's so loud. There has to be somebody driving down the street. Sorry, I know you guys can't even hear that, but sometimes when the bikers come through and they have their little radios going on their motorcycles, and they're blaring like, uh, let's just say, not music you would expect to hear from a biker. Uh, but yeah, and there were no women on those bikes. So I was like, well, that's strange. Okay, all right. I don't know. I don't know all the biker gangs that come through here for the different runs that they do through town. There's like two big ones a year, and then they do like a poker run and something else. But I think the poker run's more like the local MC. And I don't really, when I lived in Vegas, I knew bikers. My ex-husband and I rode motorcycles, and we actually had old like motorcycle cop bikes. So they were Honda. One was a silver wing, one was a gold wing. And I personally am kind of terrified of. I never was really great on a bicycle. I was okay on a BMX because it was low to the ground, and but I have always had a thing about heights. So, that being said, I've never actually ridden on a motorcycle by myself. I've ridden on an ATV and a four wheeler and that sort of thing, but never a motorcycle. I don't have good great balance, so I just don't see that as being, you know, something that I should even try to, unless it was a trike that I could, that had like an actual seat in it, not a motorcycle seat, but you know, one with the back and the whole full butt and all that. Yeah, if I could have something like that, sure. But chances are that's not happening. Hi, who's joining? Who just joined us? Or me, I guess. Nothing? No words? Okay, good. All right. Well, I think, let's see. I have been live for, I guess I'll stay on until like it's been 30 minutes, unless somebody actually talks to me, and then, I'll go from there. But I've got just a few more minutes before the first batch is going to come out of the oven, and I'm going to be finishing up getting the second dozen ready. While I'm waiting for that, and then I should be done. I just have to wait for them to cool. Still one person here. I really wish I could see the comments. I have like gloves on because I'm handling food, and so I can't actually like touch my cell phone screen to see if anybody's even left a comment. Oh man, so sorry. So I feel like I need to. Oh, my back is starting to cramp up, and I don't know how much longer I can stand here. This sucks. And I need to go blow my nose because I'm tired of sniffling. So that'll be my real reason for getting off of here is because I need to go do those things. Yep, can't see. Sucks. Oh man. So the 20th of October is when we will be getting the behind the scenes tour of the Nevada State Prison. And then our investigation there will be on November 14th. So, and that investigation filled up fairly quickly. So, the next time I go there, though, in 2021, I think I'm going to take the max because when I realized that okay, so when we're in one big group, the docents are all with us and all that stuff. So when we decide we want to split up and go in different areas to investigate, that's when there's only one of me and two of us. So it makes it really difficult to accommodate more than, say, 10 people. But because the docents have to go with you, they don't get involved at all in the investigation. They just stand back and like observe. They basically, they're there to make sure that nobody like trips and falls or has any kind of accident on inside, because it is very dark in the prison, and it is there's some areas where there's like problems with the flooring and that sort of thing. So to make sure that nobody is injured, they have somebody with a group of people at all times. So I can actually do 18 guests the next time in 2021 if I have enough people that are, serious about it. Otherwise, I'll just keep it, where there's only 8 of us. So it's kind of like 2 groups of 4, and that way we can cover as much of the building as possible. And, everybody that's coming to that investigation, I've already investigated with. So it's kind of like, it's a treat for me because they are people that I've investigated with prior at other things like the Washoe Club. And, I know that they don't have bad intentions. I know that they're, some of them are fairly new investigators. They haven't been on that many. And when you don't have or are part of a team and you're just an individual person or maybe a couple, it's actually cheaper to go with other people, but nobody wants it to be like overbooked. That's the thing. That's the main difference between me and most of the people that do this up here, is that I don't do it thinking, oh, I can make the most amount of money if I cram blah, blah, blah. No, that's not like, it's not, it's not beneficial because no one is actually able to get any evidence as long as there's too many people stepping on all over each other's evidence. So, oh, my timer just went off. So that's the thing. It's like, I feel like I wouldn't normally do 20, or 18, but because of the fact that we would all be split up into, smaller groups, I I feel like, sorry, I'm trying to flip the other dozen in the oven. Oh, Tyler. I don't feel like it's going to take away from anything because of the fact that there are only going to be like 5 people in each group. So that's really, fairly small. The only other thing is that you also can't like wander off on your own because a docent has to be with you. So basically, if one person has to go to the bathroom in the group, we all have to go back out and go to the area where the power is and the restroom, and everybody have a few minute break and then walk however long back it is. And from what I've seen in pictures and what I've heard from my contacts is that there are it's big. It's really big. So like for somebody for like me, it's gonna be tough, but I will have a fold up camp chair that I'll have with me that I'll be able to sit down as I need to. Um, because I can't go any faster than my back and my leg are gonna let me. That's just the way it is. So, oh, okay, all right. Well, I got the other dozen in. I am going to sign off from YouTube, and I will see you guys all later.